Ms. Pooja Srivastava, Senior Manager, ORM, ACO. Let's have a huge round of applause. Joining them, we have our final panelist, Mr. Suraj Shetty, Head of Customer Experience, Kisht. Can you hear it up for him, please? And to moderate this session, we have with us Mr. Sunny Gulati, Head Customer Experience, Bata. Let's have a huge, huge round of applause for all of them joining us. Very, very warm welcome. And I hand it over to Mr. Sunny. We're just waiting for one more panelist, I guess. Yes. Yes. Let's have a huge round of applause for him, please. He's just right here in time. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Samir, Neha, and team for inviting me and the rest of the distinguished panelists to this discussion. You know, we have had different speakers coming over and speaking a lot on CX, continuity of CX, you know, how probably omnichannel can contribute to better CX. You know, what is the actual or the end result of all these activities? You know, there are primarily two reasons: acquire new customers and retain the existing ones. So primarily, most of your CX activities are aimed at fine-tuning your marketing strategies, and with help of a better omni-channel CX kind of environment. So with that in mind, we will be asking the distinguished panelists a couple of questions, and let's see how we can actually marry all the situations together. So this question probably I'll start with the insurance guys.
Always the insurance guys first.
The insurance guys are important. So Pooja, how has probably the marketing landscape evolved given the importance of CX related marketing?
Okay.
And I'm saying this why, because I've been seeing your marketing a lot in my inboxes.
Yeah, so. That's good, right? Okay, so a lot has changed in insurance industry altogether. So insurance, ACO being the first coming as digitally, everything up till now was going to an agent and doing it. And how it is changing, there was, while we were listening to what is happening, what our customers has to say about, there's an ambiguity, and there is a doubt about taking insurance, whether I'm going to get the claim or not. So to mitigate all these things, the one thing that we did was having bringing someone on board with whom our customers can relate to, can be a voice for us, and first hearing what the customers are saying, what are their challenges, what is the problem they are facing, and having a meaningful engagement with them, which in results bring confidence. So there's this, recently we have launched this marketing campaign wherein Madhavan has become our voice of customer. And he is now asking those questions on behalf of those customers and this is a marketing campaign, okay? And he's asking those questions which those customers who have been asking to us and answering them, and that's how we are changing, and that's how our marketing has been changing, keeping in mind customer centricity.
Thank you. Yeah. So, question this to Ankit. So what Pooja just mentioned, there's a shift from being a product-centric organization to being a customer-centric organization. How much you agree with that fact?
No, I think I can't agree less, right? So I have two cents to add here. One is that we spend so much of money and marketing money, right, in doing these media campaigns, right? And somehow our customer experience really sucks sometimes, right? And it pains me to see because we don't really focus on the smaller part, like people say, but it's not actually small. It's really, really critical and important because all your drops, all your efforts of bringing people to your platform and the whole idea of creating brand love, right, for a brand actually dies because we don't focus on customer experience. So many a times I actually tell the team and people to go through your own platform or the app, website, social media handles like a customer and see how your experience would be. We lack of actually doing that. So customer experience is really, really critical, and I think everyone knows that fact that it is critical. What is important is what are we doing about making a great customer experience for our users. I think that's what we should be thinking today. How do we make it really, really excellent? Yeah.
Thank you. Take this thought further, and so building basically, out of all the discussions we have realized, building an emotional connection with the end user is very, very important. And who better probably has done it in the past than Airtel? When the Geo onslaught came for everyone to see, one company that stood out in terms of retaining and probably scaling up the emotional connect with the users was Airtel. So, how do you feel all about, building up, all these activities to ensure your marketing is done professionally? Because I think you have excelled at that in the past, and you continue to do that also.
Yeah, thanks. So, customer experience is kind of changing the very fabric of how marketing is in the world today. Coming up with close to 14 years of experience in both the worlds of marketing and CX, I'm at a point where I can say that marketing team has evolved understanding what other customer needs are through deeper social listening and deeper personalization. Gone are those days you just send one email or call them for a sales call or for pitching them for a lead. It has to be personalized, and it has to understand you target the right audience at the right place and also at the right time. So I just wanted to just circle back on his point where it has been a task aligning your entire organization, that is the culture of the organization, to be very customer-centric in this 2024 already, where we don't see this as mere sales target or mere adding to a business value. We bring in the emotional factors of customers. We listen to them actively on various channels across social platforms, across your app reviews, your email centers and other contact centers, and kind of take a collective strategic decisions across your cross-function teams in your organization, right? Be it your supply chain to your HR to your marketing. It has to go hand in hand to deliver superlative customer experience. I would like to say that when it comes to marketing and customer experience, I say that it's like the first handshake to an everlasting experience, right? That both of them meet together. So that's how I see, handling both the areas of social branding and also social ORM for an organization like Airtel. So that's how we observe it, and that's how we are working towards it. Yeah.
Thank you. Speaking of, use of technology and, to create hyper-personalized experiences. So long has been the time that when probably he spoke of superlative experiences, hyper-personalization is the key nowadays. We see that happening all the time. So Suraj, how do you feel, how technology has helped you in creating some, hyper-personalization at your workspace, and how has it helped your customers, connect to you better?
Interesting question, Sunny. I think when it comes to CX-led marketing, the first thing, also in terms of hyper-personalization, the first thing that comes to our mind is social listening, right? But I would say if you look at CX-led marketing, social listening is not the only part. Even the repeat business that we get from our customers is CX-led marketing, because unless your CX is better, you cannot get repeat business. The cross-selling that we do, the upselling that we do is part of repeat business, is part of CX-led marketing. So what we do at Kist is, number one, we have identified that from the start, we have seen that all departments are working in silos. Different departments are using different softwares, different platforms, and one department doesn't speak to the other department unless there is some cross happening over there, cross aligned objectives are there. So different departments are using different platforms, and they don't know what the customer is saying on different platforms. They just know that, okay, the customer has said something on the field team knows about it. The customer has said something on customer service knows about it. The customer said something on a promotional post, the marketing team knows about it, but they are not talking to each other. So what the first step that we have taken is we have integrated all platforms with each other. So API integration is a must. No matter how many platforms you use, it's fine using multiple platforms, because some platforms would be better than others in a particular area. Like Konnect Insights is one of the best when it comes to social media management, but my CRM tool may not be the best. So I wouldn't use the CRM tool for managing my social media. So we have around 6 platforms that we use for customer service, but these all are integrated, and whenever the customer comes to us, no matter which channel he approaches, the agent exactly knows how many times he has interacted, on which channel he has interacted, and what was the query on that channel. So we tag each and every interaction on every channel. Even the field guy knows, because my field app is integrated to the CRM. The field guy knows when he visits the customer for sales or for payment collection, since we are into loans. So when he goes for payment collections, if the customer says that मैंने complaint raise किया, मुझे fees का waiver चाहिए, जब तक fees का waiver नहीं होगा, तब तक मैं EMI pay नहीं करूँगा, because ये मेरा complaint है और इसको पहले resolve करो. तो usually what happened in the past is field executive would just say that सर आप customer service में बात करो, वो मैं नहीं help कर पाऊँगा आपका. But now they don't say that. They can immediately see what is the status of the complaint. Okay, you have approached, sir आपने Twitter पे post किया था एक बार और आपने 2 complaints raise किए थे. He can see it immediately. So this is what gives the personalized experience to the customer, and he understands that okay, the company knows what they are doing, and it's not every department is not working in silos, and they don't get frustrated at the agent. So it's necessary that each and every team, especially the field team for businesses that have field teams, to keep these teams connected through by integrating the softwares that are being used, and that's the first level of personalization that you can provide to the customer. Second, I would say what we do is we have something called voice of customer, wherein each and every interaction that the customer has with a customer service agent or a sales agent, we ask for some suggestions or ideas that the customer has, and these suggestions and ideas get fed into the system, which are then routed to the marketing and products team, so that they know that okay, 20% of my customers are looking for gold loans. There are 10% of customers who are looking for education loans. So tomorrow when we want to develop a new product, we know what kind of preferences the customers have and what kind of pricing, what kind of tenure they are looking for. So that's how we do it. And there is one more part to it, I would say, is that when it comes to personalization, we also capture the mood of the customer. In case of Konnect Insights, we have sentiment analysis, so we know what kind of sentiment the customer has when he's approaching us. And also we tag each and every conversation with the help of the words that are being used. So if anyone uses a word saying complaint, grievance, cyber, or police, or say RBI, it would get immediately tagged, and we would resolve that within 2 to 4 hours maximum, rather than keeping it open for 48 hours. So that's how we're using social listening, and also ensuring that all knowledge that exists within the organization flows to each and every department, so that people don't work on silos. Because whatever, the more you empower your employees, the more the customer will get empowered.
Sure. Thank you, Suraj. So you actually have brought an interesting concept. Before you move on to the next question, and that's about social listening anyways. So, you know, marrying your voice of customers, you know, the feedback that you have, and marrying your you know, omni-channel platform experience is an important factor. And not many companies do it very effectively. And you know, how many companies have actually evaluated how their NPS is vis-a-vis, you know, let's say the customer experience they're meeting onto the customers. A lot of companies would come and say, you know, my NPS is 60. Does that bring the same rate of customers back to your business? How's your repurchase rate? So those are the couple of things that we'll try and answer, and you know, and then subsequent questions. Thank you, Suraj. My next question, you know, is again, you know, back to the insurance. I will start with the insurance and end with probably
Always the insurance.
fintech. Yeah. So, Pooja, in that space, how do you think is social listening is a precursor to CX and marketing?
Social listening plays a very, very crucial role, whether it is marketing or whether you want to have a new product or you want to improve something. Social listening, it gives you that view, that mirror, that what are your customers talking about. And it also helps you in planning as to, even when it comes to the marketing planning, that which area we need to hit in terms of, if there is, say for example, like we are using the tools for sentiment analysis, as everybody's been saying, and I'm sure everybody's been using for the basic for social listening, that the negative sentiments do tell us that this is where you need to work on. And then we backtrack and we build our marketing strategies basis on what our customers are trying to talk about. Social listening, I think, is the best indicator for, or I would say a guiding compass to where your marketing needs to, marketing team or even the product team needs to focus on. And I think that is how it should be built. And it has been doing amazing for us, and that is how the current marketing campaigns that we've been running and our future marketing campaigns are being designed on the basis of what customers are saying to us and listening to them and then converting those voices to an actionable points and designing a campaign out of those actionable points.
Wow. And it's interesting to see that your organization supports that. I come from a legacy. Trust me, it's hardcore business out there. You need to, the people from the Mahabharata times wearing shoes, But
I guess I can say for most of us over here, Bata was the first footwear that all of us must have got sometime. I guess that is my early childhood memory.
I hope it remains the last also. Thank you.
Yes,
So Ankit, how important you think has been social listening for you, and what is your favorite social listening activity that has actually helped you define your CX and marketing strategy? How have you helped that make more agile at your end?
So, luckily we work on various brands, right? So we have more than 10 to 12 brands working with us on social listening and brand reputation management. I think social listening has couple of folds, right? So we use social listening for product and business challenges. We use social listening for understanding what competitors are doing. We use social listening for defining our own marketing strategies. We use social listening to even thinking what this A campaign that we just did, how did that actually create engagement and conversations around it. We use social listening to get early triggers of crisis that could potentially happen for the brand. So I think overall social listening has various facets, and the more efficiently we use that, we can make real good use of it. I have, for one of our financial brands, right, we use social listening to create topical content, and that gives them extra and more earned conversations, because we are so relevant in the kind of conversation we're putting up for the brand, because we are listening efficiently and quickly, and then converting that into contextual social media creatives or conversations, so that because of which the earned conversation that we get for the brand is phenomenal. So I think that's a very, very simple use case that we do it on a day-to-day basis for brands. Yeah.
Rajiv, what probably Ankit said was very, very interesting. So at your use case, nothing actually works in our corporate world when the ROI isn't there. Everybody asks, what is the ROI you getting out of this business? What is the business case of doing this? And how do you track? So what are your metrics with using which you actually drive your own social listening metrics at your end?
Yeah, I'll quickly go with an example which is related to telecom. So how this social listening has actually helped us to drive some business also, and not just making customer experience or not ensuring your customers are happy, not just that. That's another brownie point of retaining customers and also onboarding new customers. So we had this tedious process of converting your physical SIM to eSIM, right? We had to walk into a store, submit your SIM card, fill some zillions of forms and apply for it, and there is another person comes for a KYC, and then you have to move on to the digital SIM. So it was just back in 2 years back, this was the process that we had for telecom. So through active social listening, what we did, we understood especially the Gen Z audience and the new age audience on various social channels, who's having a device which is enabled of eSIM and not able to convert it, or rather not got a seamless experience of converting their physical SIM to eSIM, and there was a lot of churn and also a lot of dissatisfaction and a negative sentiment on social. So we wanted to kind of brainstorm it, and as an organization, we wanted to bring the cross-function teams together and say, here is what my social data says. This is what the sentiment is like. And if we come out of product, brainstorm it and bring this process seamless, there are high chances that we retain customers and also onboard new customers. Now, with that, now we have a eSIM process with the blink of an eye. You can convert your physical SIM to eSIM. So that came. That's a baby of a brainstorming session that happened with deeper social listening and deeper personalization that happened from social media. So answer your question of how we convert our listening data to also to get new business and change your listening center to a profit center is something that we are working towards, and that's an interesting piece where we wanted to also understand, can I give a feedback to my supply chain team, can I give a feedback to my product team saying that, hey, you're saying that this is a great product, but people are not saying that. This is the percentage of people are not so happy. Do a competitive benchmarking and also saying that here is how we can convert the sentiment by implementing, adapting new process and bringing in new ways of working. So it has definitely kind of helped us leaps and bounds in terms of taking decisions at the right time. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you. One interesting thought that I also actually had in my mind, what we have actually done is at Bata, we've got a very extensive NPS program, and it runs across the organizations, across all the blood and veins of it. We have actually started off social NPS also. Of all that social NPS is nothing but the orders that are placed using your social campaigns, and you marry your social NPS with that. We have seen a very interesting algorithm building up there. The moment my marketing strategy actually syncs up with my customer experience, lesser the complaints are, lesser the issues are, the better my performance increases in the subsequent months, and that reflects on the NPS also, that loyalty metric that we all drive. So I think rightly pointed out by all the panelists out here that using all of these agile strategies that you have everybody hinted at, it's an important metric, and looking at the net sentiment score, using your sentiment analysis is also an important thing that we all can look forward to as a metric while we are driving and evolving our customer experiences together. That brings another interesting question to my mind, while I was discussing, and when we spoke of Gen Z, and we are here in a social world, and the target group segment that we all have in mind is Gen Zs and to an extent millennials, right? People who we are, people who probably we have at home, little younger brothers, sisters, they are the Gen Zs, right? And there are alpha, beta, gammas coming up anyways. So, with that in mind, Ankit, do you think that there is a paradigm shift in organizations when they focus on target groups, the marketing target groups, from people who were little elder, towards people in millennials and Gen Zs? And are we at the cost of actually acquiring Gen Zs and millennials using social strategies? Are we actually ending up ignoring the core customer base that we had?
I don't know whether we are ignoring the core customer base, but I think we're preparing for the future customer base, right? When we're talking to Gen Zs, and we, as a lot of organizations today, want to focus on Gen Zs is largely because they want to be ready for tomorrow. And obviously the media habits, the way people consume media, the way people consume their mobile, right? Like how much time people are spending on mobile, how much time people are spending on social media has considerably changed, and the way people use the internet for anything, it has also evolved. Case in example, right? Like if we had an issue with, say, a telecom partner, we would land up calling people. But today, if a Gen Z has a problem with telecom operator, he will try calling once, and if he doesn't get it, the next thing he will do is go on Twitter and then probably tweet 10 things, unless you get the attention of the partner, right? So we are forced to be there, and also the need of the hour is to be there and solve the problem the way they would like the platform to solve it for. Yeah.
Part of the problem comes from Rajiv, The other guy, that girl from the Airtel, she told, if you don't get the network, there's a way you find the network. They are the ones who actually brought this culture into the India.
And you want the solution right there at the right channel at the right time. I mean, you cannot delay the solution. Handling Gen Z needs a different set of skill. Yeah. And a different set of strategy, of course, for social listening, even for marketing for this sake. I mean, I just send out a personalized emailing, you get a response saying that, why do you have to send me this? So it's in that tonality where you have to rethink the entire strategy of your marketing or email marketing or your demand gen campaigns that you run for Gen Zs. I'm always be cautioned when I have a target audience of Gen Z and say, like, let's not do it. Let's hold on for some more time. So let's rethink about it. So that's
but that your campaign worked on elders also. I remember my father telling me this. Network नहीं आ रहा. Check करना app के ऊपर दिखाती है लड़की वो Airtel वाली. So that worked for them also. Anyways, thank you. Coming back, coming next to my next question. Pooja, how has, while you have been using Konnect Insight, how do you feel, Konnect Insights has actually helped unify your needs in terms of customer experience and marketing strategy?
So we have just recently onboarded Konnect Insight. We have heard a lot about Konnect Insight, and one of the reasons we brought Konnect Insight was my past experience with them. So I have used Konnect Insight, the example which was given, the aviation, I was there. I was the one who was handling at that point of time. So 2 of the major airlines. So taking that experience and bringing it to my current organization into insurance, as I mentioned earlier, listening, taking the points over there, converting it to actionables, personalizing the way we have been talking about Gen Z or the generation. So every lock has a different key. So every target audience, you cannot, the way we are dealing with Gen Z, you cannot deal the same way with the elders. So Konnect Insight make us understand the, what is the audience, the age, the demographic, the regions they are coming from, what is the where, from which area the maximum number of audiences are writing to us, positive, negative, neutral, whatever that is, and how we need to cater or how we need to target them. So this has helped us in planning a targeted marketing, I would say, by understanding our audiences, and which is important for any effective marketing campaign.
Ankit, there are a lot of tools in the market, we are full of SaaS platforms and everything else. So, when you were shortlisting Konnect Insights and when you shortlisted them, how do you think, the evolution that she spoke of, the evolution in terms of your CX and marrying your strategies in your, addressing your marketing needs has really been helped by, KI as a tool. A lot of tools, all of them would do the same thing. What differentiates KI from the other tools?
Yeah, so I think we work with various tools, right? But KI is one of our preferred tool that we always recommend to all our clients. There are 2 reasons for it. One is the uptime of the tool, right, which is phenomenal basis other tools. The second is the continuous evolving of the tool, right? So they're continuously coming up with upgrades in terms of AI, in terms of technology upgrades, so that the tool that you're using has to be really efficient, right, in terms of the kind of mention that's drawing, the platform. I would rate a tool in terms of, specifically on technical grounds, because a lot of tools do not finally start crawling. They'll have issues between integrations, etc. So from that point of view, Konnect Insight is really a strong tool because it has least amount of technical issues and obviously is continuously evolving with better features for any marketer. And therefore, we recommend this tool to a lot of people. Almost 50% of our clients would be on KI versus others. Yeah.
Thank you. Personally speaking, Neha is standing there. She knows. We scouted for and I'm not being a proponent out here. Just probably I'm a proponent anyways for KI. Neha and Sameer knows that. So we scouted for a couple of tools before, and we were using a couple of tools. I will not name them right now, but when we arrived at Konnect Insight, and we actually started scouting even after that also. What we have believed, of all the things that we need in India to address social digital marketing needs and marrying your CX, KI actually fulfills that optimally. It has been able to help us marry my needs. I'm still evolving. We are still learning from them, and we are still learning. And as Ankit just remarked, they keep evolving. That is very, very important. Change is very, very important. And evolving for the better is something which I really hope they keep doing, and giving us that required impetus in pushing our business together. Yep. So Suraj, what is your feel about using KI so far?
I think KI has been helpful. We have been with KI for the last 2 years, and I think social media is a very small part of our customer service engagement part, wherein around 5% of customers, not more than that. Sometimes it is even around 1%. But majority of the traffic that we see is in chat and calls. And since we also serve tier 2, tier 3 cities when it comes to lending, most of the customer are more friendly when it comes to call. They prefer to pick up a call, and even if there is a chat option, they would prefer a call since they are more habituated to that part. So I would say, but when it comes to social listening, it has helped us in two areas. One is sentiment analysis, understanding what customers are saying and which customers to focus on first. And second, it has helped us understand, help us empower our social listening skills, because we now know, we are able to quickly know how many customers have tagged RBI, how many customers have tagged the government of India, how many customers have tagged finance ministry, or how many customers have tagged the news channel maybe, or any other areas wherein, or it can be if there is a fraud video floating around, a fraudster trying to inform others how to create a fraud entry, or how to apply for loan on different apps or different banks. So even such kind of videos float around the internet on different channels. So we are able to use specific words to understand whenever such kind of videos or such kind of contents appear on the internet, and we are able to immediately tackle them, or get in touch with the concerned party who's been, or maybe spam them, etc. So it's necessary to identify things faster. So the identification is much faster when you have a powerful tool at hand. So it would take less than 15 minutes for you to identify such posts or such negative things that are floating on the internet, compared to other previous tools that we used, wherein we at least by end of day we used to know when we got the report that okay, this has happened. But Konnect Insights has been more instant for us. So it has helped us empower the social media team. Even though it's a very small team, it's very much more efficient than it was before.
Thank you, Suraj. Karen tells me my time is up, but I will be quick to ask another question to the panelists, and we will end it quickly. So, I'll just take a more minutes. Yeah, thanks. It's my favorite part, I need to ask that. Okay, quickly. Ankit, what is your biggest challenge that you're facing while implementing a CX-centric marketing strategy?
I think the challenge is largely the unified view of a customer, right? And I think Suraj was talking about that. I think that's the biggest challenge that I see in most organizations, is that we're not able to bring technology. We're not able to optimally use technology because people have 6 platforms, but they're not talking to each other. That's the biggest challenge. Integrating it and with your CRMs, using the tools efficiently, largely technology is one. Automation is 2. I think we're so human dependent, and we're not thinking of automation in the sense, I'm not saying that get rid of people, but I'm saying get rid of redundant work, right? For which basically means how do you bring automation in your processes, in your play? That's the second biggest challenge that right now I think we should all focus on.
Ajeev?
So I see the CX as more of emotions and a lot of connections that they have with customers. Turning that to numbers, turning that to a process-driven approach is a challenge. And bringing all your transaction teams together and say that, hey, this is, what customer is thinking like this. I mean, this is very personal. And coming to another point, personalization, I also feel that to an extent, right? I give an example of Gen Z where you send an email and they said like, how come you know my data? So there's a thin line between personalization, hyper-personalization, and getting into customers' personal zone, right? They are saying that how secure is my data now? I mean, you just know where I am and what I'm doing. So there it's a challenge when CX says personalization and marketing approaches with personalization, security is a challenge. And I mean, regulatory stuff is a challenge, but I think we'll soon figure that out. Yeah.
Sure. Pooja?
So these two have covered most of the part already. But yes, the challenge that we also face is the Xylo or marketing team, the efforts are being, so I think that the biggest challenge that I have faced till now is that different teams on different tools singing different songs. So until not all are together and singing the same, the bird is singing the same song, that's going to be the biggest challenge. That is the biggest challenge that we are facing right now as well. And I'm sure this will improve. So for an effective marketing to happen, it has to, so every customer touch point has to have the same message going out, which we are probably doing on offline marketing or on online marketing, and has to be tracked at every customer touch point as well.
I would say the challenge is the volume of data and understanding data for us, because we have huge volumes of data available when it comes to social listening or any kind of customer related interaction data. And there is a very thin line between voice of customer and noise of customer. So a lot of time we spend time analyzing the noise that is coming to us, which wouldn't make any sense, and the kind of decisions that would take would be useless from a value addition point of view. So what I think the most important part and the most challenging part for any team is setting the right process and setting the right flags which have to be raised, so that people don't waste time on things that are not important. They may look important, but they may not be important. For example, a small example is in a CSAT survey, you would find that 40% people have selected 1 star instead of, out of 1 to 5 star rating, 40% people have selected 1 star. But out of that, just 10% have written negative comments, but the remaining 30 have just selected 1 star. They have not written anything negative. So this 40% doesn't mean actually negative, because if someone has to wants to say something bad, if he wants to rate bad for you, he would first of all write a very big review of what has gone wrong or what he did not like. At least he would write some word about it. But if there is a 1 star with blank review, no comments added, it means somewhere either the negative feeling is not very strong, or second, the customer has by mistakenly selected 1 star, or he was in a hurry. The opposite also true. I have seen that people rating 5 stars and writing bad, because they have not understood that 5 star is the best rating. They thought that 5 star is the worst rating. So it's necessary to understand what kind of data you need to consume and where are the flags that have to be kept, and what kind of identification metrics are necessary for the team. Otherwise the team will keep working on things that won't add value in the long term. So the ability to read data, understand data and segregate it and look at what is important is very much
Sure. Thank you. So, I'll summarize, and I'm sure I'm not open for Q&A, right? Okay. So, with that in perspective, with that in mind, we would like to close this, and I'd like to thank you, the esteemed panelists, for coming and sharing the views today. Thank you for all for bearing us and listening to us all through the audio.